So we're told that we have an African-American president, so everything's solved. Race doesn't matter at all, right? Now, we've shown you study after study that shows otherwise. You know, you've got a black hand holding up something on eBay as opposed to a white hand, and people will, on average, pay them less, trust them less, etc. It's unbelievable. Just at the sight of a black hand, they don't even know it. It's subconscious. African-American sounding names get 50% less callbacks on the same exact resume. We've been through all that, right? And obviously you see what's happening with law enforcement throughout the country. But I want to give you stunning numbers from the Pew Research Center on average household income. Average household wealth. Now, this is an important difference, right? Income is your salary every year. Wealth is how much you have accumulated, what you own, your house, your car, your couch, whatever it might be, right? Or any cash that you might have. First of all, we've all taken a huge hit as a country together, right? Back in 2007, the average wealth of a U.S. household was $135,700. In 2010, that dropped down to $82,300, right? Of course, in 2008, we had that gigantic crash. And then in 2013, it's actually gotten worse than 2010. It's $81,400. We're losing wealth as we go along. So this is why the country is dissatisfied. And this is not racial. This goes across all races, as you're about to see, right? So stock market is roaring again. The banks are roaring again. The rich are doing great. Now, it's not just the top 1%, it's actually the top 0.01% that have taken a tremendous amount of money because the rules are rigged in their favor. Now, meanwhile, has your wealth recovered? Your family recovered? No. So, and the Democrats and Obama wonder why people are still mad. Yes, all the lovely rich people you know are doing great, and their portfolios are back in great shape. But that's not true for the rest of us. Now, look at whites, for example. In 2007, the average household wealth for whites was $192,500. It's not bad, man. We are a rich country. That is not bad. Now, in 2010, it dropped all the way to $138,600. In 2013, it has actually gotten a little better for whites, $141,900 overall. Now, I'm going to show you blacks next. And so you're going to think, well, okay, we know the black number is going to be a little less. Well, as you can see there, no. Not a little less, a lot less. In 2007, the average household wealth was $19,200. It dropped down to $16,600 in 2010. And amazingly, in 2013, it has continued to plummet down to $11,000. Latinos are not much better off than African Americans. In 2007, they were at $23,600, dropped down to $16,000 in 2010, and in 2013, they're down to $13,700. Two things jump out at you there. One is the giant disparity between whites, blacks, and Latinos. The other is that whites have recovered a little bit in average household wealth, but blacks and Latinos not only have not recovered, they continue to spiral down. So where's the recovery? Where's the recovery? All the rules are still set in favor of the banks, in favor of the richest and most powerful people in the country. They have recovered just fine, but not really the rest of us. Now, let's go back to the disparities between the races. The median household headed by a white person has a net worth 13 times greater than the median black-headed household. Now, if you're an African-American child born into a family in America today, you didn't have anything to do with that. It's just a family you happen to be born into, right? I hope we can all agree to that. That's obvious, right? Well, you start at a 13-to-1 disadvantage. Now, money's not everything in the world, of course, and it doesn't mean you can't make it. You can. But can anyone really deny that you start at a fundamental disadvantage? You know the old saying, money makes money, right? And so if you've got more wealth, well, you get a better credit. And better credit leads to lower interest rates. It leads to the ability to buy a house, which then creates more wealth. I'm giving you one of dozens of examples I can give you of how money makes a big difference. And anyone that lives in the real world obviously understands that. It's not the only thing, but it's a huge thing. So on average, blacks in this country start at a 13-to-1 disadvantage. And to say that everything is fine and everything is equal is counterfactual. It's just not true. Now, what you do about that is a different question. And those are good and healthy policy debates to have. But don't pretend that we don't have the disparity, because we most certainly do. Now, one more wrinkle here. In fact, they call it an upsetting wrinkle here, and they're right. These gaps exist even regardless of income. This is really interesting. As Demos's Matt Bruning showed earlier this year, likewise, he has shown that racial and ethnic wealth gaps exist regardless of education. Now, we're told, well, that's okay. You can live the American dream and you can become rich. Yes, you can. But on average, African Americans, even if they get rich, are not nearly as rich as white people. On average, and this is the more upsetting part, even if you get an education, we're told that's the ticket to the American dream. Well, the gap still persists. So there are many, many factors here. And of course, as you grow up, obviously every person becomes an adult and takes responsibility for their own actions. But if I said to you, I'm going to put you in a game here, whatever the game might be, and you're going to be at a 13-1 disadvantage. So let's say we're playing basketball. You're one person, the other team's got 13 people. And then I go, what? You got personal responsibility. You got a ball. You can shoot it. You can still make a basket. Yeah, that's true, but that's certainly not the whole equation. So understand that this is the reality for a lot of Americans today. Closing your eyes to it isn't going to make it any better. Actually understanding it and actively looking to fix it so we're all on a relatively equal playing field, not because we want equality of results, but because we want equality of opportunity. I think that is more than fair. So open your eyes and let's all work together towards a real solution.